Hey everybody, this is Dead Winter Dead with another Battlefield 4 video for you. Today we're taking a look at a game of Rush on Goldmud Railway. Yes, Goldmud Railway did show up in the rotation again. Regardless of what you may think, it is not my favorite Rush map. But it is a playable Rush map, very playable. But that's not the point of this video. What I wanted to discuss today is I kind of wanted to go back, take a step back. Battlefield's been out, I don't know, for... It was released in October, November, so we're going on almost half a year, a little over half a year or so, 7 or 8 months. We've got a couple DLCs under our belt, and I want to kind of step back and give some tips and just thoughts on Rush Basics. How many times have you been on a server where people just either ignore what they need to do or they don't know what they're doing? I have actually been on servers where new players to the obviously to the franchise will type, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to be doing? And people like that, you give them a friendly answer, hey, you're supposed to be doing this, or hey, get in my squad and just kind of follow my lead, blah, blah, blah. But one of the first things I want to tell you is this. If you want to have a decent or at least a fun Rush match, try to avoid the 64-player, craziness. That's just a given. But look at this. This is my first thing. Let's freeze it. What is that? That is a main battle tank. A main battle tank abandoned on the battlefield. Now, if you watch the lead up to this, you'll see that there were 2 enemy players near that main battle tank, but they weren't utilizing it for anything. So this is what I'm going to do. I can't arm an MCOM inside a battle tank, so I'm going to move around these rocks, take my chances, and arm this Bravo MCOM. Then, what you will see here baffles the mind. The MCOM is armed. I'm able to completely walk over to this main battle tank, which is a little bit damaged, but still completely serviceable in the field, and take my time gunning these guys down in the T90 with the coaxial machine gun. Now, if they had utilized this tank like they should have, it's a powerful asset on the battlefield, they would have had 2 main battle tanks against our meager attacking team. But instead, they gave the main battle tank away because they thought, well, it's down to 20%, it's junk anyway. And what were we able to do here? I was able to arm the MCOM, destroy the MCOM, destroy their armor assets, and completely clear our rear area out in the space of, say, about 12 seconds. This was the point where the match completely turned around. Up until this point, we were kind of struggling, and it looked like they were starting to dig in. The minute they gave up that piece of armor, it was game over for them because we keep our momentum going, we keep pushing, and they can't get back up on their feet. Now right here, I commit a cardinal sin, but it is a tactical decision that I have to make, a calculated risk. I bail out on the tank. Now, what I thought was going to happen was my gunner would just take the tank over and just kind of cover me, but he bailed out too, wisely, because the tank, as you can see from this upper story window, has been destroyed. But because you cannot arm an MCOM inside a main battle tank, someone had to get out and someone had to arm it. That someone was me. For some reason, that guy completely disappears off of out of the game world, and I end up getting cut down by the CBJ. So we now have both MCOMs screaming away. Bravo MCOM goes down, and the Alpha MCOM is still armed. Basically, now all we have to do is hold it. Now, typically what happens in Rush games is the enemy team will attempt to stay behind your lines to set up, say, spawn beacons or steal enemy armor assets or enemy air assets. This is a sound tactic if you can get away with it. It's a sound tactic if you can get away with it because you end up relieving the attackers of equipment and assets that they could possibly use against you. But this is a point where it actually works against them. If you look at the mini-map, I've got one just off to my right, hiding inside that building, probably camping, waiting for someone to chase him. There's a few others on the hill, and what I do, as soon as we're given the orders to push up on the next set of MCOMs, I realize that there are at least 2 or 3 of the enemy behind me. They're busy trying to camp, trying to plant spawn beacons, trying to be a thorn in our side. Alright, that's 2 or 3 less guys they have defending their MCOMs. And remember, the name of the game here is to destroy these MCOMs. You have to arm them, you have to rush, you have to destroy them. because they can sit there all day, every day with their infinite tickets defending the MCOMs, and eventually they will win the game. All they have to do is whittle you down to 0 tickets. As you can see here, we have 71 tickets. Right here, the Alpha MCOM is armed. There are some enemy units on the roof. I was able to gun down one recon who turned that corner way too aggressively with his sidearm. He just could not stand toe-to-toe with an M249. Once that Alpha MCOM is down and I see that it's protected, I immediately push. I don't try to dig in. I don't try to camp. I don't try to camp their spawn or do anything. Immediately push on to the next MCOM. Excuse me. Now, the thing about Rush is, unless you're just a super ninja stud player, which I am not, most of us are not, you need to not be concerned with your KD in Rush. You are going to die. You are going to take some kills. But if you play smart, you'll still end up with a fairly positive KD, but you will die because you have to take risks. You have to take chances. Right here, the MCOM was disarmed. I immediately jump out of the second story and rearm it. My priority was not shooting that guy. My priority was, again, the MCOM. And what this tank gunner did here was brilliant, and you should try to do this every time an MCOM is facing the attackers with a building behind it. Bring that building down. Because what you've now done is taken away height and cover away from the defenders. The defenders can no longer use the second story or the roof of this building with which to look down and defend the MCOM. And you've given the attackers plenty of cover to just stand their ground, guard the MCOM, and wait till it's destroyed. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed these quick tips about Rush. This is very, very basic stuff. Get out there, enjoy some Rush, have some fun, be a team player. My name is Dead Winter Dead. Thanks for watching.